We're just going to go ahead and dive right into it and break down the video. As we can see here on the Blue Guardian account, 6.54. So definitely gained a bit more of a cushion. We can see the 300K phase 2 account is at 6.58. For the funded, we can see the 100K is at 8.77. With the 200K funded account, it's at 6.17% the overall drawdown. So we're going to go ahead and break down the actual trade I took, why I took it, what I was aiming for, and we can kind of go from there. With yesterday's candle closing huge bullish engulfing at this strong confluence area, I knew based on price closing like this on the daily that we had enough momentum. This is what price looked like when it closed yesterday, right? Which the main thing I saw was we were at this level of resistance on the H4 time frame. So I didn't want to try to buy anywhere within this area. I did have this area marked off initially as far as some level of confluence. If price come and test this area, it could be a perfect reverse head and shoulder. Reverse head, reverse shoulder, potentially another reverse shoulder. The main thing I was looking for was I knew there was some level of confluence here. This was the reverse head and shoulder pattern, but I also knew that it might not come all the way down here because we already have the support right here. For me, it was just to be patient and get some type of a confluence. So I waited, didn't want to take any buys within this area because obviously we're at a resistance on the 1 hour, which is also a very strong confluence area. That's another thing. Even when this candle looked like it's a bullish engulfing, the biggest thing I've learned from my trading, follow structure, number one, but structure is kind of key to the candlestick formation. You can see an area that looks like a higher low if you're looking for a buy, but if it's at a strong level of a resistance, it might not be the best higher probability setup to take. Now when price closed like this on the 1 hour with this huge exhaustion wick to the bottom right here, the 15-minute time frame also closed like this. So I got an entry right about here. My main aim for this target area was 29.20. Once the 1 hour closed, price started willy-dagging a little bit. I waited patiently, and as we can see, price started to form out, price started to form, and then I woke up random as heck, 3 o'clock in the morning. We got an alert 15 minutes later that it was at 1906, I believe 1905. At this point, I was up a 1 to 2. Yes, you can hold for the full TP, but in that moment, my gut would just like take it. As we can see on top tier, this was the buy last night around that 28.89. Stop loss 28.80.5. Close was around 29.06.06. I was risking $1,000. I gained $2,000, so that's a 2R. We're slowly crawling out of this drawdown period. I'm not overconfident, but I have a lot of confidence in my ability to take these accounts from being so far down, bring them back to break even, and even potentially have a payout on those funded accounts. This is a month plan, but anything can always happen. That's day 2. Should be interesting to see everything kind of play out from here.
So it's Friday, and welcome back to the last day of the week of the docu-series. We took one opportunity Wednesday night that was a loss, and then we took another opportunity Thursday morning that made that back, and then we took one opportunity last night, Thursday night, coming into today, Friday, that was the last opportunity of the week. And let's just go ahead and dive right into it. Wednesday night, price closed like this. I knew that we had some level of a resistance around that 29.20-ish area, which if you go to the 4-hour time frame, didn't break that 4-hour resistance. But at the same time, price also formed a H4 higher low on the 1-hour time frame. We can clearly see that there's a higher low here. I didn't want to buy just yet because we are still in that confluence area. Resistance, resistance, resistance all along this area. If we go to the left a little bit more, this was a prior level of a support turn resistance all within this point right here. I needed at least either a pullback all the way down here or at least a strong enough close past this 4-hour area right here, or for this 1-hour support area right here to be respected to a certain extent. When price closed like this, very bullish right here on the 1 hour, 15-minute time frame, had a huge bullish engulfing past this resistance. So I took this entry, this 15-minute candle closing so bullish, it looked like it had enough momentum to continue pushing a little bit higher. Even the 4-hour closed very bullish, as we can see right here. It looked like it had enough momentum, but as we can see, price started willy-daggling. By the time I woke up in the morning, I'd already gotten stopped out. Even though it looked like it had enough momentum, very similar to what I talked about in the other trade setup, you can have a higher low and it looks very good, but it's at a resistance area. A lot of times it just doesn't work out in your favor. This is one of those situations where it just didn't didn't work out in my favor for that opportunity. We clearly didn't break that resistance point, but at the same time, we didn't break that support area either. We're still forming, going up and down within that range. When price closed like this, with this bullish candle to form a level of support, I should have waited for the 15-minute, but I got in on the 5-minute time frame. The 1 hour had already closed. Bearish, bullish, that's a support created. Bearish, bullish, that's a test. Bearish, bullish, that's a test. Bearish, bullish, that's a fake break, and also what? A test. Even though the 15-minute candle closed like that, I still believe in what the higher time frame, which was the H1. So I trust my analysis. I let the market kind of play out for a little bit. And as we can see, it pushed up very, very nice. I was aiming for the high. So it had been about a 1 to 2, 1 to 3. But as soon as it got to the 1 to 1, we had already built a little bit of cushion based on where the account started at the beginning of the week. So I decided, let's just take this cushion and just end the week there. Not allowing the loss to change my overall mood, to mess up my belief in my edge, allowed me to capitalize on the opportunity. Wednesday night going into Thursday was a break-even day. The last opportunity that I took for the week was last night, Thursday night. I initially had decided I was going to be done for the week, but it just closed so good, man. The price closed so good. What I see it potentially doing, that it was worth taking the risk. The daily candle closed like this. So we have this huge exhaustion to the bottom right here, but the fact that we're at a H4 resistance and a daily resistance, exhaustion being shown here, a bearish engulfing to a certain extent, not really because of the huge wick to the bottom, but to a certain extent to play into the bias that I was looking for. The 4 hour at the time, it clearly looked as if we had some level of a head and shoulder pattern. At the same time, we're at this confluence here, support turning into resistance all along this point right here. Me seeing this, I knew that we had enough momentum to at least try to push back down to the support area. The 1 hour candle closed like this right here, and right before the market closed, this bearish candle closing very, very bearish along the support area. We had small little breaks, lower highs being created. You know, it went to the 1 hour resistance, which is a strong H4 confluence zone. So 2 confluences there. Lower highs being created, another confluence for selling momentum kicking in. I saw that as a perfect opportunity, but this was outside of my trading time zone. I had a decision to make. Are you going to break your trading plan that you created for yourself and take this trade? I was itching to take it, but I decided to wait. As soon as the market reopened, it pushed back up within that area. I didn't want to just sell right then and there. I wanted to get a good enough candle that shows that sellers coming into the market strong enough. Once we got this bearish candle, I took this position. When the 1 hour candle closed like this, I closed the computer because I didn't want to stare at the chart. Not very long later, we had a freaking tank. This account that was up about 8.65 is now at 6.12. This one was very, very high. This was the account that was down 9.63. So I didn't want to risk too much, so risking less than half a percentage. Right now it's at 8.86, but slowly, slowly gaining a little bit more cushion there. The 200K is now back at 5.62, and that was also in the 8.3-ish range as far as drawdown. Accounts, as we can see here, is at 6.12 in cushion versus being down about 8.3 range as well. And then the other Blue Garden account, as we can see, is also at a 6.01 in cushion. That's the end of the week for the docu-series. The main thing for me here, and what's helped me, is just having a very, very long-term mindset. Not trying to completely bring this account back to the break-even point right then and there. Slowly building that cushion, not allowing losses to dictate the plan that I set overall. Stay in a very high vibration, high frequency as I can possibly be. Thank you for tuning in. If you're still here at the end of the video, if you want to stay tuned and follow this docu-series along while I take this account back to good standing to eventually get in the payout, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you are notified when I make another video. Hit that like button, help with the algorithm a little bit. Feel free to drop a comment down below, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.